So let's get started. So everybody taking a seat, wherever you're doing it, on a mat, on the floor, doesn't matter. Just make sure you're sitting comfortably and you're wearing comfy clothes, everything like that. So we're just sitting up nice and tall, having your legs however you want to have them. So that might be out in front of you, that might be crossed, it might be staggered like mine. It's just where it's comfortable for you. And just sit up nice and tall, making those lungs big so that you can get those nice deep breaths in. And let's just close our eyes and breathe deeply and just center ourselves on our mat. So no fidgeting, that's for me more than you. Just sitting nice and still, taking those deep breaths. And then we're going to put one hand on the side of the head and just gently pull on the neck. So we're lengthening all down the side into our shoulder, getting rid of any tension that we hold there. And then let's take it to the other side. Gently pulling on the side of the head, lengthening that neck, getting rid of the tension. And then swing your head down so your chin's on your chest, but still sitting up nice and tall. Both hands on the back. Gently pull it down. Stretching the back of the neck now, feeling it along the top of the spine. Pulling on the muscles in your upper back as well. And then coming back up, but circling the head round. 3 times one way. And then when you get back to the beginning, do 3 times the other way. And coming it back up. Hopefully that neck feels nice and loose. So let's mobilise the rest of the body. Legs out nice and long for me. We're going to slide down those legs and back up. Try to take those fingers as far down as you can. You might be able to get to your toes. You might get to your knees. You might get to your ankles. You might get further than your toes. Just sliding forwards and back. We're not going to do many holding positions today. It's going to be all about the movement. So last one, coming back and bringing one foot into the side of the thigh. And let's go over and up. Swinging that arm, trying to take yourself as low down to your leg as you can. Opening up that chest, opening up your body. Inviting that energy in that you're going to use today in this yoga class. And let's go over one more time and back up, and you're just going to switch sides. Let's keep that movement going, keeping that body moving. Lots of lovely flow today. All about moving that body with purpose and control. Lots of the classes we do, we just throw our body about, make it do ridiculous things. This is about moving it with purpose, moving it with control. Let's go over one more time and come back up. Bringing the foot in, pushing the knees wide. And we're going to roll forwards and rolling up. Rolling forwards, rolling up. Keep the control in that body. Feel yourself get closer and closer to your big toe as you go down. Doing it one more time, rolling forward and rolling back up. Lovely. Widening those legs, let's do some more flow. Flowing with those arms from side to side. Really swaying those arms through the air. Bringing the body close down to your leg. Last time. And coming back up, nice and tall, hands in front, sliding forwards and back. Trying to get a little bit further every time you go forwards. And one more time for me, forwards and back. Lovely. Bring those knees in, come up onto those knees and sit back into those feet. Sit up nice and tall. We're going to sway forwards and back. So we're going to go back to start with, let the arm go over and then sway those hands to the outside, letting the weight of your arm pull you back. Trying to go back a little bit further every single time. One more time on each side. Last one. Over and back. Here. And let's put those hands forward on the floor. Knees back slightly so you're in that table position. We're going to do cat to cow. So let's do our cat first. Back up, looking down. And then roll the spine into your cow. So you've got a nice curve. And to your cat. And roll into your cow. And roll into cat. And roll back into cow. One more time of each for cat. And last time for cow. Lovely. And a nice flat back for me. Legs out into your plank. Hold it here for a few seconds and then lower it down to chaturanga. Hold it just above if you can. If you can't, go straight down to the floor and push up into your up dog. So in this position here, you're pushing your hips to the floor, shoulders are away from your ears. Don't let yourself sink down, push them away. And ignore my manky elbows. And let's put the toes to the floor and push back into downward dog. And let's start to pedal, keeping that movement going. Head is between those arms. You're pedaling your feet, pushing the heel down to the floor. As close to the floor as you can. And then walking those feet forward and rolling up nice and slow. Big inhale up at the top and an exhale down. And let's go straight into our first salutation. So a nice big inhale up, stretching high and falling down. Holding it here. And let's sway from side to side now. Holding your elbows. Keeping those legs straight, just having a nice sway. Relaxing the upper body. Letting the weight of it pull you down. And stop swaying and come back to the center. And you're going to put your hands flat, bend your knees if you need to, and if you can, jump back into plank or step. It's up to you. Just come back into that nice strong plank position. And from here we're going to lower it down, hold it just above if you can in chaturanga, and then push up into up dog. Relax the feet down so they're stretching the ankles, shoulders away from the ears. toes down, back into downward dog, and let's pedal those feet. And let's walk those feet back into the hands. And let's sway again, holding the elbows, swaying from side to side. And come to a stop in the middle and roll up nice and slow. Give me a big inhale at the top and an exhale down. Lovely. So we're going to do a little bit of balance now. Hopefully that body feels really good. Nice bit of flow to get us going. It's only going to get more. So for our balance position, you're going to be putting your whole weight on one foot. Hands are going to stay at your sides, and you're going to lean forward with a straight leg and try and bring yourself to a nice flat body. Okay, so if you want to have a look from the side, find a point that's not going to move and bring yourself in so you're holding it flat. Okay, so pick which foot you want to start on. Shift your weight onto that foot, hands at your sides, focus on a point that's not going to move, and let's lean forward. So the leg that's holding your weight is straight, sorry. So you're really stretching that hamstring. Holding it here, balance and stretch. And bring yourself back to the center. And let's do it on the other side. So shift your weight on that side, hands at your sides. Let's lean forward, taking that back leg back with you. So you're stretching the hamstring and testing your balance as well. Allow that little wobble. Remember what I always say, it's good to have a wobble because it means you're pushing your balance a little bit further, improving it, keeping it going nice and steady, and bring it back in. Lovely. All right, so now we've done our balances, we're going to go back to our flow. So it's going to be very similar to our salutation, but we're just going to add a few bits on it to really get the body going. So feet hip width apart, nice big inhale in, leave your hands here and hinge at your hips forward and holding it here. So you've got that nice flat back for me, and those arms are up by your ears. Those legs are straight and fall all the way to the floor. And let's get those hands flat, bend your knees if you need to. Jump your feet back into your plank. And let's lower it down to chaturanga. And push up into your up dog. And from here we're going to lift the feet up and bring them up, pointing to the ceiling. If you've got good flexibility in your quads, you might be able to get them to point at your head. But just lifting them up, pointing your toes. Should be a little bit more intense on your back. And lower them back down to the floor. Toes down, bottom into the air, into your downward dog. And let's pedal. And from here we're going to lift one leg up into the air, taking it as high as you possibly can. Hold it here for a few seconds. And then you're going to come forward into plank, bringing the knee underneath you. So it's not touching the floor. And push it back up into the air. And this time we're going forward and we're taking the knee wider than the elbow. And push it back up into the air. And we're going to take the knee across this time. So it's knee to opposite elbow. And back up into the air. Nice controlled movements. And bring it forward in line with your hand. In line with that hand. Hand closest to the foot, lift it up. Palm facing the same way as the chest. Look up at that top palm while pushing your hips down. And drop it to the floor and changing sides. Looking up at that top palm. Palm is facing the same direction as the chest. Pushing your hips down, getting that good stretch. And bring it down back to the floor. And let's lower the back knee down. Relax the foot off. If this is enough, stay here. Otherwise, down onto your elbows into that lizard pose. And let's come back up, walking that foot to the centre. And coming back up here. And we're going to lean forward, lifting those arms up either side of your head as you push into your runner's lunge. Really stretching the hip flexor. Now we're going to test the balance, so put your toes down. Without moving those arms, you're just lifting that back knee up. Good test of control, that one. So this is your warrior one. Let's twist into warrior two. So really opening up your hips. Hands are nice and long, in line with your legs. And you're looking down your front palm. And we're going to be flowing between going forwards, flow your arms down and up, and then flow back. Go forwards and back. Your legs are staying where they are, so that front knee stays bent, that back leg is straight. You're just moving that upper body with purpose and control. Last time forwards and last time back. And back to your warrior two. And let's straighten that front knee and turn the foot. So you're in your mountain position. From here, I want us to hinge at our hips, come forward with a nice flat back and just hold it here. And then drop to the floor. Because our legs are wider, you might be able to get a little bit lower. Try and get your hands flat if you can, just touch with your fingertips. If you're right down there, try and get your elbows to the floor. And let's come back up to your mountain pose. And we're going to go back to the warrior, so the front foot, turn it back to the front, arms up into warrior. Holding it here, strong position this one. And let's circle the arms down, bring the leg back into your plank. And everything you just done, we're going to do it again on the other side. So lower it down to chaturanga, and then push up into up dog. Feet are flat on the floor, your knees are on the floor, and you're pushing your shoulders away from your ears. And then when you're ready, lift up those feet and point them towards the ceiling, towards your head, wherever it is you can get to. You're trying to push your ankles to your butt. Keeping it going nice and strong. Really making your lower back work this one. And lower them back down. Good stretch for your quads as well. Toes to the floor, bum into the air. Left downward dog, pedaling your feet. So whichever leg you lifted last time, you're lifting the other one. So lift it up into the air as high as you can. And then bring it forward into plank, bringing that knee underneath your body and send it back up into the air. And then taking it wider than your body and back up into the air and taking it across your body to the opposite knee, opposite elbow. And one more time into the air and bringing that foot forward in line with that hand. If you can, bring it that far forward. Hand closest to your foot, up into the air. Look up at that top palm and don't twist your hand. All right, just have that palm facing the same way as your chest. Everything's in line, everything's with purpose. Strong position. Bring it back down and changing sides. Keep pushing the hips down. We're still stretching out that hip flexor and those hips. And back down to the floor. And let's lower the back knee to the floor and relax the foot off. And if this is enough, then stay here, but otherwise we go down onto those elbows. Remembering that it's very normal to have one side better than the other. One side stronger than the other, one side more flexible than the other. This is us trying to make it even. And come back up onto those hands and walk that foot into the center. Pushing up so you're nice and tall. Leaving the feet where they are, you're going to lean into the lunge and lift your arms up either side of your ears. Pushing into it, feeling the stretch in that hip flexor. Now pop those toes to the floor, keeping the balance, keeping the strength. You're going to lift the back knee up into your warrior one. And we're going to twist to warrior two. So that front foot didn't move, just the back foot twisted out. The back leg is long, the front leg is bent, looking down that front palm. And we're going to flow again, so we're going to flow over and then we flow back. Over and back. Legs staying strong, staying where they are. Just moving the trunk, moving the arms. Controlling that body every single time. And let's do it one more time over. And one more time back. And back to the center, back to your warrior two. And we're going to straighten the front leg and turn it. So you've got those nice wide legs. And we're going to do something a little bit differently this time. We're going to do our prayer behind our back. So behind your back, press your fingertips together and then push your palms together. So you should feel this opening up your shoulders, opening up your chest, and then try and lift your hands up, your back. And then from here, we're going to lean forward, keeping that back flat. So you come into a nice right angle. So you really should feel this opening up your shoulders, opening up your chest. Make sure your palms are still together. If it is too much and you can't get your palms together, don't worry. Just touch your fingertips here. This is a good one. Stretching the hamstrings, stretching the lower back, and we're getting the chest and shoulders as well. And come back up to mountain pose and let those arms go. And let's turn that front foot again, bend into it, arms up into warrior two. Strong position here. And let's circle those hands down, foot back into your plank. Now from here we're going to do a side plank. So we're going to tip ourselves into our side plank position, holding it nice and strong. If you need to stagger your feet, that's absolutely fine. It's up to you. And with our top arm, we go over and back, over and back, flowing that shoulder all the time. And let's go over one more time. And then go back to your front plank. Lovely. We're going to do that on the other side. So, over onto the other side. Hold that side plank strong. And let's start to go over with the arm and back to the side. Over and back. Over and back. Keep it going. Keep the balance. Keep the strength. And keep the flow. Let's do it one more time. Over and back to our front plank. And let's lower it down all the way to the floor and just rest here for a little bit. That was some big moves. So I want those arms out. We're going to do those shoulder openers. I said I'd try them, do them every single time. So your elbows are at right angles at the sides of your body. And you're going to open up the shoulder by twisting over. So you're lifting up one bent elbow, taking your leg across as well. So you get a nice twist in your body, opening up your shoulders and chest. It's an area that most people are extremely tight without even realising it. So this is a really good position to do. And go back to lying flat with those elbows wide. And let's do it on the other side. So if you're finding that you're a lot tighter here than you'd like to be, just do this position every morning, every night. It doesn't have to be part of a yoga sequence. It's just good to hold these positions sometimes. And this one is particularly beneficial if you've got tight shoulders and chest. And go back to the centre. Lovely. And let's roll onto our backs. And from here we're going to do our bridge or our wheel. So our bridge, you're going to lift up your glutes nice and high, but keep your head and your shoulders on the floor. We're going to lift one leg up and hold, and then lower, and then lift the other and hold. So if you want to stay with that version, that's fine, but if you want to take it to level 2, you have your hands behind your head and you push up into your wheel, and again we're going to lift one leg and then lift the other. Okay, so choose which version. You've got version 1, which is bridge, or version 2, which is wheel. And when you're ready, we're going to lift in 3, 2, 1. So lifting it up however you choose to do it, and lift one leg up into the air and hold. And lower. Without putting your glutes down, lift the other leg and hold. And lower it down and lower your body. And relax. That's a big, big move. Whether you're doing bridge or wheel, big move. Deep breath. Let's bring that knee in and hug it into our bodies, nice and tight. Really stretching the glute and the hip flexor with this one. And you're going to send it away and do the same on the other side. Hug the knee in nice and tight, squeeze it in. Might be a little bit uncomfortable at first, but just fight through it and it becomes normal. Squeeze it in, nice and tight. And then pick up the leg and bring the other one in, and we're going to do our happy baby pose. So you're going to be holding your feet with your knees bent, it's kind of wide, and you're just going to rock from side to side. So this is a good stretch. It's good for opening up your hips, stretching your hip flexors, stretching your glutes. But it's also nice because as you're rocking from side to side, you're getting a nice little lower back massage, which we don't always get. And just like the chest and shoulders, often a lot of pressure is put on that lower back. So it's good to massage it. And then let those legs go nice and long. And we're going to do some nice big twists. So bring that knee in and sending it across your body. And then stick your arm out the opposite way. And I want you looking away from your knee. So you get a nice big twist all across your trunk. So you should feel it in your lower back. You should feel it in your oblique on the side. And you should feel it in that front core as well. You're trying to push your knee to the floor and push the shoulder to the floor as well. And as you push them, you'll get a deeper stretch. You'll get more out of this move. Really good. Getting rid of all that tension throughout your trunk. And let's come back to the centre. And you're just going to do that on the other side. So bringing the knee in and sending it across. Trying to get the knee to the floor. Trying to get the shoulder to the floor. The more you push them, the more you twist that trunk, the more you're going to get out of this move. And then come back to the centre and lie flat on your back. And I want you to close your eyes. Have your arms at your sides with your palms facing up. And I want you to imagine your energy in your body flowing down your legs, flowing down your arms, into the tips of your toes and the tips of your fingers. And when it gets there, it flows out of your body. And as it leaves you, sink deeper and deeper into your mat. And I want you to take nice deep breaths. And as you breathe in, you rise up. But as you breathe out, you sink lower. And every time you sink lower, you go further and further into your mat. And when you're ready, wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes, bringing that life back into your body. And in your own time, come up to sitting